This is Further Solutions Academy. Further Solutions Academy. Encourage us more, help us to share our video and subscribe to our channel. Help us to share our video and subscribe to our channel. In this channel, we have over 130 videos for mathematics, for applied science. Just try to be there and learn whatever you want to learn there. In this video, I'll be walking you through quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. The outline of this video are much, which is the first one is definition of quadratic equation, and the second one is type of quadratic equation, and the third one is method of solving quadratic equation, and type of root, and radical equation. Radical equation means hard. Something radical is hard. It means it's very hard to handle. Now, let me start from quadratic equation. I'll be moving on to the outline one by one. Let me just do it this way. Okay, these are the outline. These are my focus on this video. Now, when we talk about quadratic equation, just like let me just move a word. Quadratic equation means degree 2. Please just note that it's always in degree 2. If I have my s squared equals to 4, this is a quadratic equation. Why? Because of what? These two let us to know that what? The equation belongs to what? Quadratic. But if I have it x equals to 4, this is a simple equation. It's a simple equation. Now, if I should have this, normally we square root the both side. No, that is in language. This my s will be equals to plus or minus 2. Now that is my answer. It means my s can be equals to minus 2 or plus 2. That is the answer. Now that is all about. It means quadratic equation is all about what? Degree 2. Degree 2. Now it can be quadratic expression and it can be quadratic equation. If it is quadratic equation, we have it ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. This is equation, quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. Now, if it is quadratic expression, it will be ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, this is quadratic expression. This is my quadratic expression. It means here, it will lead me to roots. While here will lead me to factor. To lead me to factor. Now here I will simplify or find the factor. Why this one? What is the root of the equation? Now, if you are to talk about the equation, it means you have to get two roots. You have to get two roots. I will work on it when we are talking about the method of solving it. That is all I can say about quadratic equation. And before we go further, we must learn to compare any quadratic given to us. For instance, if I have 3x squared plus 7x minus 8, okay, minus 8 equals to 0. Now, I must be able to compare this very well. I will compare with ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. It means ax squared equals to 3x squared. Indirectly, my a equals to 3. I can do the same thing for 7, which is bx equals to 7x. b equals to 7. And also my c is equals to minus 8. Now, that is what is called compare of coefficients of quadratic equation. It means my a is 3, my b is 7, and my c is minus 8. Very, very important. And also, if we are talking about quadratic equation, okay, that is all about that. Type of quadratic equation, I think here is very good now. Now, I'm now on type of quadratic equation. There are two types of quadratic equation. We have what is called maximum and minimum. That is type of quadratic equation. Types of quadratic equation. Maximum and minimum. Now, if it is minimum, we call it a positive. Can use the word positive. And this one will be negative. Please take note of that. Positive and in some place like my own country, like some places, we call it cap and cap. I mean cup, cap and cup. You can use this. Now, what is indicator? Indicator let us to know that when we talk about minus AS plus BS plus C equals to 0, okay, equals to Y. Let me use a word because the story has changed here. I'm working towards a graph now. If it is a graph, there must be a two variable, X and Y. Now, look at this particular aspect. Now, if coefficient of S squared is minus, now this one is illustrating positive or maximum quadratic equation. Now, once there is minus on coefficient of S squared, it means it refers to what? Maximum or positive graph. When you place a graph, when you plot a graph, your turning point will surely be at the what? Positive what? Axis of what? This is a positive. This is going to be positive number. Let me call it B. Positive. It will be positive. Now, why the second one, which is 1 and 2 and 2, we have minimum. Minimum or negative. It's very, very common. Okay. Now, this is minimum or we call it negative, any of the two. Now, when you plot your graph here, it will surely come this way. It will be on this part. It means minus what? B. Now, that is what we are just trying to do here. When you plot your graph, what will differentiate it? One will be cap, one will be cup. That is type of quadratic equation. Don't forget, it is the coefficient of S squared determine whether it's positive or negative. Please take note of that. It's very, very important. When we are on graph, we are going to work more on that aspect. The next work, we'll be talking about method of solving quadratic equation. I think I have to show example here. Done this. Now, we are now on method of solving quadratic equation. Now, method of solving quadratic equation. If I'm talking about method of solving quadratic equation, you have to understand that there are several methods of solving. There are 4 methods of solving quadratic equation. The first method, we call it method of solving it. Let me just mention it. Method of solving quadratic equation. Now, there are 4 methods of solving quadratic equation. The first one, we call it factorization. Factorization method. Now, factorization method, that is very common at normal level. And the second one, we call it completing the square method. And the third one, we call it quadratic formula or general quadratic formula method. General, let me just put the word let me just put a general quadratic method. Now, and the last one, we call it graphical method. Graphical method. Now, these are the 4 methods of solving quadratic equation. I will now try to, let's try to work on this method, explain it one by one. For instance, I want to use any of this method. The condition, very, very important. This one does not satisfy all quadratic equation. Please take note of that. Take note of that. The condition of AB, ABC. You have to understand the stand. We have done that at the beginning of the video. That comparing of coefficients. When your AB, product of this is product, and this is what? Sum. B will be sum. Very, very important. It means I must get the two numbers. Then when I multiply the numbers together, it will give me AC. And the same number I will add it, it will give me B. Once I can get that particular part, I'm good to factorize. Now, I can use it for what? Both expression and equation. Both expression and equation. But in this particular method, complete square method, you can only use it for what? You can only use complete square method when it's quadratic equation. You can't use it for factorization method. I mean, it can't be used for expression. It can't be used for expression. Let me get the question from the past question. Okay. Okay, let me just get, I'm not trying to get a question now. Okay. Now, but before we talk about this method, I want to explain something very important. If I have 4x squared equals to 16, look at this particular question. I can as well write it as 4x squared minus 0x minus 16 equals to 0. I think this is very, very important because of something is not present here. It means this is a normal way of presenting quadratic equation. It means my A is 4, my B is 0, and my C is minus 4. Very, very important. And now, A, B, and complete. That's very, very important because I'm looking at the write-up I have here, and I have another one. If a question is in this form, let me just show another one just to understand this concept very well. If I have a question this way, 3x squared equals to 12x. Now I can as well write this as 3x squared minus 12x plus 0 equals to 0. Very, very common. Now at this point, I'm expressing it as a normal way of quadratic equation because I said it at the beginning of the class that it has a general form, and general form is as squared plus bs plus c equals to 0. Now it means my a equals to 3, my b equals to minus 12, and my c is 0. And that is all about that. You can do, I may not be able to touch everything, but I'm trying to. That is a very important aspect of it. Now let me quickly factorize this. I want to solve this question here from JAMB. I want to factorize this thing. Okay, I have this question here. Okay. Find what is the root of x squared minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. Now I can only use a word roots because this is a quadratic equation already. Now once it's a quadratic equation, I'm allowed to use what? Root. But if it is not quadratic equation, it will be factor, which is expression I'm referring to. What is my a? 1. My b is minus 5. My c is... Now my ac. What is my ac? It means 1 multiplied by, which is equals to what? Equals to 6. My b equals to minus 5. Now I will now think of the two numbers that once I multiply the numbers together, it will give me b, and the same number I will add n, it will give me minus b. It means 3 times 2 will help me. Now 3 times 2, it will give me 6. But can I get a minus? Okay, if I have minus, it will surely give me 6. And the same number, minus 3, minus 2, it will give me minus 5. It means I'm good to go. I can now factorize. The numbers, these numbers will represent position of b. Position of b in the equation. In the given equation, just in the given equation. Please take note of that. Now, what is my given equation? I have x squared. Now, it means I'm talking about what is that my position? I have minus 2, minus 3, all bracket of x, and plus 6 equals to 0. Now, which I have x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 6 equals to 0. Now, what is the common thing here? I want to group into two. That's what I'm trying to say there. Now, what is common here? I have my x bracket of s minus 2. What is common here? I have minus 3. Now, also x minus 2. If I open my brackets, I must be able to come back to where I'm coming from. If not, I'll make a mistake. That is number one. Number two, this bracket must be equal to this bracket. If not, there is a mistake also. Now, it means I will now take one of the brackets, which is x minus 2 and x minus 3 are equal to 0. At this point, this is called factor. Factor. That is the factor. If there is not equal to 0 here, it means I'm to stop here. But since there is equals to, if I have AB equals to 0, it means A equals to 0 or B equals to 0, or both of them are equals to 0. Either one of the two can occur. Now, since that holds, it means my A minus B equals to 0 or x minus 3 equals to 0. My A equals to 2 or my x equals to 3. That's all about that. That is this method, which is called factorization method. Don't forget, indicate ABC, and secondly, no, AC product, AC we call it product, and B himself we call it sum. A number that two numbers that you multiply together, that will give you AC, and the same number you add them, that will give you B. That number will represent position of B. And you now do this. When you are checking your work, you must firstly, when you open the brackets given here, you must come down, you must return back to where you are coming from. That is number one. Number two, this bracket must be equal to this bracket. Now, that is very, very important. Since that condition satisfied, you are good to go. I think after that, now don't forget the condition that when you have AB are equal to 0, is that two of them are equal to 0 or each of them are equal to 0? That is very correct. Now, I think factorization method is out of the system. Let's move on to the next one. Now, the next one is, we are talking about complete the square method now. Oh, this is very, very long. I will be very, very brief on it. Okay, how to explain it? Let me explain it. This there is a step on it. But before you can use or complete the square method, please take note of this information. Very important. The square method. Now, take note of this information. They are very important. To use complete the square method, number one, it must be quadratic equation. You can't use complete the square method for expression. For expression, you can't use it. It must be quadratic equation. That is first thing. Number two, there are steps that illustrate that. Let me quickly explain that steps. Now, for instance, let me use proof that ax squared plus bx plus c equals to minus b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac. This bracket must cover, we have done that in indices. Please, when you are making a bracket, b squared minus 4ac, some people normally make that mistake. Now, it means this root belongs to only b. When you are writing any external exam, take note of that. Your teacher can understand. But if I should be the one to mark the exam, I will mark you down. Or except you indicate your bracket. Just that is allowed. It's that you indicate your bracket or you let it cover the whole something. Okay. I want to prove that this is equals to what? 2a minus b plus my, this is 4. Sorry, don't mind my writing. 4ac. Okay, I want to prove this. Now, this is completely square method. I'm using completely square method. Now, what is the equation? The equation is what? Ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Please, I'm proving this quadratic equation, proving that is equals to this. Okay, it must be quadratic equation, don't forget it, not expression. Now, the first thing is, or show, let me just show, let me use the word show because that proving is causing a lot of problem. Show that this quadratic equation is equals to this. Now, I want to show this now. Step one, very important. Step one, divide all by coefficient or by a. I don't need to speak much English. Don't use both sides because you can use a both side when a 2x equals to 7. I can use a both side here, but at this point I can't use a both side because of what? There is operation plus. Operation plus is operating. It means there are no more side. Please take note of that. You will use the word divide all by a. It means I'll be having s squared plus bx all over a plus c all over a equals to 0. Now, to move on, I can say that s squared plus bx all over what? A equals to minus c all over a. What did I do? I just subtract both sides by what? By this. I subtract both sides by c all over a. Step 2. Now, step 2, this one is a bit technical. Half of coefficient or half of b all over a, or you can use the word coefficient of x. Do you get me? Half of coefficient, right? When you talk about half of a statement, it means all over 1 over b, which is equals to what? B all over 2a. Now, square the result and add to both sides. Please take note of that. Now, what is my result? My result is, this is my result. I will square this rubbish. I mean, this thing, I have to square it. Now, it means I'm talking about s squared plus, I'm implementing now. Now, bx all over a, the result is b squared all over 4a squared equals to b squared all over 4a squared minus c all over a. I return what is there back there. Now, that is the second statement. Now, the second step. Third step. Step 3. Factorize left hand side. Very, very important. Factorize. How do I factorize this thing? I think we have done that. What number can we multiply to get this? And the same number I will add it to get this. It means if I should test for b all over 2a times b all over 2a, it will surely give me b squared all over 4a squared, which is, this one is common. Yes. Now, the same number, can I add it to have this? Okay, let's try. B squared all over 2a plus b all over 2a, which is going to be what? 2b all over 2a, which is a all over b. It means I'm good to go. This particular, it will represent position of b. It will represent position of b. Now, it means I will have s squared plus bx all over 2a plus bx all over 2a plus b squared all over 4a squared can be equals to b squared minus 4a squared minus c all over a. Now, that is very, very important. Okay. Now, after that, I will move on. I need to cancel this because I don't want to put my outline in. Very, very important. Please take note of that. Now, the next thing is, I want to do my factorization. I want to do that finish. It means I can group this into 2, which is what I did last time. My s is common in the first one, s plus b all over 2a. And this is going to be b all over 2a bracket of what? S all plus b all over 2a and equals to b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Please, I can get have 4a and just I've factorized and find the LCM and also balance the outside. Now, pick one of this must be equal to this. I've done that in the factorization method. Now, x plus b all over 2a and x plus b all over 2a equals to b minus 4a all over 4a. Now, x plus b all over 2a all squared equals to what? B squared minus 4a all over 4a. Now, at this point, now the step 4 now. Step 4. Square root both side. I can use a word both side here because this bracket make it a one identity and this fraction make it one. Therefore, a word of bracket one side is going to be allowed. Now, that is my step 4. Now, it means root the both sides. Sorry. At this point, plus or minus will be indicated. It means x plus b all over 2a equals to minus plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac all over. Make sure you have it inside the bracket or you quote it with what? Now, I can answer my x equals to minus b 2a plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac divided by, this is square, sorry, there is square there. I've lost that square, don't mind me. Okay, over 2a. Now, that is, there is a square here. When I square root of 4, it will be 2. Square root of a squared, it will be a. Now, my final answer will be now equals to minus b plus or minus root of b squared 4ac divided by 2a. That is a completely square method. I can use that the same method to solve any given equation. Before I continue, let me quickly put let me show one example on it. Now, okay, that is called quadratic formula. This is called quadratic formula. Quadratic formula. Now, we have A, we have B, we have C on the formula, and you can substitute. It's very easy. It's the easiest method so far when we are talking about quadratic equation. Okay, before, let me show a real number. This is just a proof. Let me show a real number illustrating this method. Now, I want to have this question here. I pick up a question from WAHEC 2017, which goes this way. I want to use complete square method. 3x squared 6x minus 2 equals to 0. Now you can see that this question is not factorizable. I will have AC will be minus 6. There's no number that we had that will give me 6, and the same number I will add it to and we multiply it, it will give me minus 6, which is not possible. This times it to be minus. It means I will go to complete the square method. What's my correct number? I'm running towards the steps now. Sorry, please, I'll be very, very fast. Which is everything. I divide all through by what? Step 1. I divide all through by what? Coefficient of s squared, which is s squared plus 2x minus 2 all over 3 equals to 0, which I have s squared plus 2x equals to 2 all over 3. I think I've transferred to the other side. Now, take note of this. Step 2, which what I explained that time, half of this, square the result and add it to both sides. What is my half? Half of this number is what? 2 multiplied by 1 over 2. result, which is going to be what? I will have 1. 1 squared will remain 1. It means x squared plus 2x plus 1, add it to both sides, equals to what? 2 all over 3 plus 1, which is, I've done that. Factorize LHS. How do I factorize this? What can I multiply to get 1 and have the same number to get 2? 1 plus 1, 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. It means I'll be having x squared plus x plus 1 equals to 3 plus 1. That will be 5 all over 3. Now, I group into 2, which is x is common here, plus 1. 1 bracket of x plus 1 equals to what? Now, since I have that, my x plus 1, my x plus 1 equals to 5 all over 3. Now, this and this are the same. x plus 1 all squared equals to 5 all over 3. Now, it means root the both side. I'm now in step 4. I root the both side. At this point, when I indicate my root, I will put plus or minus. Now, this will cancel this. X plus 1 equals to root of 5 all over 3 minus. Plus or minus. Plus or minus. Okay, by so doing that, I will have my s equals to minus 1 plus or minus root of 5 all over 3. I can now do it further, and that is all about complete the square method. Now, if we are talking about quadratic formula method, that is very, very simple. I don't need to waste much time on it, and it's very simple to understand. Okay, if we are talking about this method, it means I will just take that method I stated that time. My f I proved the other time equals to minus b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac. Make sure the roots are covered with the numbers here. I mean with the letters or numbers here. If it is not, indicate by cutting your what? Brackets to put it up, to cover it up. 2a. Now, I want to use this particular method. 3x squared plus 6x minus 2 equals 0. Now, solution, just a equals to 3, b equals to c, and b equals to c, and d equals to. Now I have x equals to, just indicate, just slots in those numbers, minus 6 plus or minus root of 6 squared minus 4 bracket of 3 bracket of minus 2. And by so doing that, I will have, can't you see it's very simple to use this method? It's the easiest so far. And I will go. Just check. Okay, that is all about that. But if I will explain that, it means I will have 36 minus plus to be plus. Minus times minus is going to be plus. 12 times 4, 24. Now, divided by what? 6. I can now do those things and find out and do the rest. You can do that for yourself. Now, I'll move on to, that is the quadratic formula method. Now, the next thing, I will leave graphical method for now because I need a graph to illustrate that. Now, the next one I'll be working on, graph is very simple, but when we talk about graph, it must involve two things, x and y. And your x is real, your y is imaginary. It means they will state out the value of x for you. And now, types of root. Now, type of root, which is I'm here. There are three types of root. Now, the first one we call it equal root. Equal root is said to be equal root if b squared equals to 4ac. Now, if it is equal, if I don't want to use a word root, I will be using a word called perfect square. That's a perfect square. It means I'm talking about factor, but I'm talking about root here. Okay, that is first one. And the second one, we call it a real root, or we call it distinct root. B squared greater than 4ac. B squared greater than 4ac. All these things down different second order differential equation, very important. And the next one we call it complex roots. It means b squared less than 4ac. Very, very important. Now, I think you can test for that. I've explained b and ac to you on the equation. That is very, very one. This one is very, very useful when it comes to JAM and WAEC. It's very, 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 very useful when it comes to JAM and WAEC. I'll quickly apply that before I move on to the next one. Look at this particular question now. The next thing is main explain type of root. Now, complex root is whenever you solve quadratic equation and at a point of when you mix up this number, whatever everything you have here is having minus, it becomes a complex root. Wherever you have a minus here, that becomes a complex root. And you can test for that before you lay your hand on any root, any sort of quadratic problem. Now, let me try to emphasize on equal roots before I proceed to radical equation. Now, for instance, find the value of k. Find what is the value of k, or find the value of k. Value of k in 2x squared plus k plus 3x plus k equals to 0. Now I'm looking for the value of k here. How do I get the value of k? Is very important. Compare the coefficient. That is the first thing you do. My a equals to 2, my b equals to k plus 3, and my c equals to k itself. My c equals to k itself. It means b squared equals to 4ac. That is very, very important. What is my b? B plus 3 squared equals to 4 bracket of 2 bracket of k. Now you can now do this. Whatever you get, that is your answer for k. I think we have done a lot of things on this. I don't need to stress myself on that. Just try. If you have any problem, you are free to drop your comment. Further solutionacademy@gmail.com. Just drop your comments. The last one we'll be talking about radical equation. If we're talking about radical equation, it means that equation is very stupid. It's very, very an idiot equation that is very, very hard to handle. It's always, very, very hard. Let me quickly give you example. It's very common in your JAM WAEC. For instance, a radical equation is just like solve the equation y minus 11 root of y equals to 24. Minus plus 24 equals 0. I want to solve the equation. The problem I have here is this root. How do I handle it? Because of that root, that is why it's called radical equation. Now, what I will just do, solution, I will just say let m equals to root of y. It means my y equals to